Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first Hunger Games of round 41. We're not going to focus on the fact that this is 4 days late. We're going to focus on these 24 contestants here, all putting their life on the line for 100 credits. Now, as you can see, there are only 24 of them. One of them shall live, the rest shall die. And some of them are going to fry, but that'll make more sense later. And before I ramble, let's just get on with it. Actually, wait, before we do, let's pick a winner. Which of these names looks like they're going to be the best? I'm going to either go with Havoc or this person who said in chat days ago that I should pronounce their name correctly. So, a Seven Sissy? Seven Sissy? Is that right? Hestia's got to be one of my favorite names. Though that's for other reasons. You shouldn't Google the name Hestia and Furry in the same context. But before I ramble, let's go on. The Bloodbath. As the tributes stand on the podium, the horn sounds. Havoc runs away from the cornucopia. Hestia grabs a shield leaning against the cornucopia and wanders off into the woods. He honestly seems kind of calm. I wonder what the man's planning. Depression runs away from the cornucopia. Corrupt grabs a backpack, not realizing it's empty. I mean, the face says it all. Conclave runs away from the cornucopia. Send Nudes runs away from the cornucopia. Abyss grabs a shovel. Is it going to be digging some graves? Gian finds a bow, some arrows, and a quiver. I mean, we need more explosives, but it'll get the job done. BTA runs away from the cornucopia. Mr. Robot, taking a different approach, runs into the cornucopia and hides amongst the various weapons. Yeet sets Arnold on fire with a Molotov. Ooh, our first death, and very brutal. You're not going to see the Molotov very often. It's as rare as the stick death. Frodo takes a sickle from inside the cornucopia. Nina grabs a sword. Though, I know they can't use a sword. Smoked gathers as much food as he can. Not a bad strat. Wait him out. Sanders runs away from the cornucopia. This is another person that said they wanted their name spoken correctly. Stanzinski. We're going to go with that and hope it's right. Jerry takes a sickle from inside the cornucopia. This guy runs away from the cornucopia. Jumped over him a little. Jerry takes a sickle from inside the cornucopia. And Seven Sissy runs away from the cornucopia. Kirito runs away from the cornucopia. And y'all are a bunch of cowards. Only one person? Come on, it's a bloodbath for a reason, right? Blackout 75 runs away from the cornucopia. Salah runs away from the cornucopia. The sloth breaks Doug K's nose over a basket of bread. I mean, hey, it's called the Hunger Games for a reason, right? Day 1. Corrupt receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Yeet severely injures Kirito. Fuck. One of the best animes, too. Yeet severely injures Kirito, but puts her out of her misery. Oh, man. Yeet's just fucking people up. Nina scares off Sanders. Oh, for those who know what those two are like, it's so accurate. Havoc stalks Blackout 75. The sloth discovers a river. And Gian, despite having that bow and arrow, he couldn't get any fish, he missed the deer, and he died of hunger on the first day because his community did not feed him before he got there. They sent him as a sacrifice. It's fucked up. Jin, you got right back to your community. They messed you up. BTA, Frodo, and said Nudes track down and kill Hestia. Oh, not the dragon. I mean, what? Conclave and Jerry threaten a double suicide. It fails and they die. Damn. I remember an ending event with 3 people left where 2 of them tried that and died, and 1 dude just won instead. Drink break. Seven Sissy receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Sala, trying to find some food, just fishes. Doug K receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Depression, Abyss, Smoked, and Mr. Robot hunt for other tributes. And Stanzinski searches for a water source. Overall, a pretty good first day. Fallen tributes. 6 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. The song Poor Unfortunate Souls playing in my head right now. Night 1. Said Nudes and Mr. Robot threaten a double suicide. It fails and they die. Guys, you can't kill yourself off before we get to the fiery event. Sanders passes out from exhaustion. The man spent a lot of time doing some really dumb stuff that we cannot mention on camera for liability issues. Abyss receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Yeet, content with his 2 kills, goes to sleep. The sloth goes to sleep. Frodo tries to sing a song to sing herself to sleep. It's effective. They end up falling asleep. Havoc tries to sing herself to sleep, not having as much luck as Frodo, but eventually passing out mid into the night. God, Blackout Age stays up. Blackout Age, that was a good game. Blackout 75 stays awake all night. Depression quietly hums as he sits in his little cave, wondering what the fuck he's doing here. Stanzinski tries to treat her infection, but, I mean, you gotta leave some sap. It's not the best way to treat an infection out here. Seven Sissy receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Nina looks at the night sky and wonders how the fuck they ended up here. Salah passes out from exhaustion. All that day spent that day fishing. Takes it out of you. Corrupt receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Doug K passes out from exhaustion. This is not a very bloody lot, is it? Smoked and BTA, just as I say that, Smoked and BTA run into each other and decide a truce for the night. Day 2. Sanders hunts for other tributes. Stanzinski and Depression split up to search for resources. Corrupt receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Damn, this man is being favored to all hell. Frodo constructs a shack, convinced that that will protect them. Seven Sissy searches for a water source. Nina, already ahead of it, discovers a river. BTA attacks Doug, but he manages to escape. Good on you, Doug. Abyss sprains her ankle while running away from Salah. Yeet, the Sloth, and Blackout 75 hunt for other tributes. And Havoc steals from Smoked while he isn't looking. Ooh. 2 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Wait, let's see everyone's stats, because right now I think there's only like 1 kill, 2 kills. And there's literally only 4 of you that have killed. Let's get with the times, people. Night 2. Depression receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Doug K and Blackout 75 talk to the other tributes still alive. Yeet and Smoked hold hands. Stanzinski stays awake all night. BTA thinks about winning and how easy it would be if he can just last the rest of the people. Sanders, Havoc, and Seven Sissy discuss the game and what might happen in the morning. Nina traps and kills Salah. They use one of those old-fashioned World War II traps with the spikes in the foot. It was brutal. We actually had to turn the cameras away for it. Corrupt and Abyss talk about the tributes still alive and how they might team up to kill them all. And the Sloth, they sit and quietly hum, just in a tree. I don't know why they're humming, but they are. And Frodo screams for help because he fell for one of Nina's traps, but just missed and only has the top of his foot punctured. Think about it, guys. You're just walking through a forest. You know there's people out there trying to kill you, but you don't think anyone's close. Then all of a sudden, pit trap out of nowhere. Day 3. Doug K and BTA hunt further tributes. The Sloth camouflages herself into the bushes. One of my favorite strats, honestly. Blackout 75, thirsty after 2 days of no water, searches for a water source. Frodo and Seven Sissy work together for the day. Sanders stalks Depression. Havoc receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. The sponsors are coming in clutch. Corrupt Nina, Yeet, and Abyss raid Stanzinski's camp while she is hunting. I can never get the things right. Smoked accidentally steps on a landmine going back to hunt for food in the cornucopia. Yikes. I think the only deaths have been accidental or double suicides, other than Yeet. 2 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Night 3. The Sloth, Seven Sissy, and Doug K sleep in shifts to ensure their survival till the morning. Excuse me. Stanzinski and BTA hold hands. Havoc receives... I cannot word with think. That's the couple hours of sleep every night catching up with me. Drink break. Delicious. Havoc receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Abyss sets up camp for the night. Corrupt receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Sanders and Yeet sleeps in shifts. Although I don't know why either of those two would be together or trust one another. Jesus. Depression receives explosives from an unknown sponsor. Huh. Maybe we'll see him light up the finale. Frodo and Blackout 75 talk about the tributes still alive and how to dispatch them properly. And Nina cooks herself some food before putting out her fire. Smart move, honestly. Day 4. Stanzinski diverts Abyss's attention and runs away. Depression overpowers Blackout 75, killing her. I would say there's a double entendre there if y'all are hearing it and seeing it and, tasting it. BTA overhears Havoc and the Sloth talking in the distance. Corrupt stalks Doug K. Nina goes hunting. For food or tributes, we really can't tell. Seven Sissy tends to Frodo's wounds, and in a game of, killing one another, it's a bad move, but good on you. Sanders defeats Yeet in a fight, but spares his life. See, that's why they were shacking up last night. Sanders was all about that fight until Yeet brought it back, and then they just decided, well, you know what, fuck it, we're gonna part ways. Oh, one cannon shot can be heard in the distance. Night 4. Havoc sets off an explosive, killing Corrupt and BTA. Holy shit. He set it right in the gape of trees, right next to this river, and sure enough, here they come, walking together, talking about the game, and no more them. Abyss, Yeet, and Stanzinski start fighting, but Yeet runs away as Abyssal kills Stanzinski. Yeet, no, this was your chance, 1v1. Sanders and Nina run into each other and decide a truce for the night. I think we all know what they decided to do for the night instead. Seven Sissy is unable to start a fire and sleeps without warmth. How will that affect them? Only time will tell. The Sloth, Frodo, and Doug K get into a fight. The Sloth triumphantly kills them both. Hot damn. Brava, Sloth. In depression, well, he just climbs a tree to rest. Dude's tired. It's been a long day. The feast. The cornucopia is replenished with food, supplies, weapons, and memoirs from the tribute's families. Sanders decides not to go to the feast. Smart move, really. Seven Sissy, the Sloth, and Nina confront each other but grab what they want slowly to avoid conflict. Also nice. Abyss catches Yeet off guard. The killer of the villa. Sounded better in my head. We'll just scratch that from the record, pretend I never said it. Abyss catches Yeet off guard and kills him. Havoc decides not to go to the feast, and while Depression was lying in that tree, one of those little African spiders, we won't say its name, but it does something that eventually kills you. And, yep, well, he had that in his tree, and he just, by morning, it was, poor guy. Day 5. Abyss defeats Nina in a fight, but spares her life. Oh, we're getting down to the final few people. What, that's only 6 left. Seven Sissy is pricked by thorns while picking berries, which can prove to be fatal, we have learned. The Sloth, camouflaged in a bush somewhere, just having a good old time, is thinking about home and what he's going to do when he gets these 100 credits. Sanders and Havoc split up and search for resources. Odd to be working together this late. Doesn't look like the event I planned out oh so hard and spent so long working on is going to show up, but that's okay. We'll save it for another time. 7 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Damn, a lot of people died that night. Night 5. Abyss tends to Sanders' wounds. Abyss walked up on Sanders, slung out over a tree, all bloodied and bruised up. We have no idea what happened. We have a lot of camera drones, but there are some blind spots, and we kind of miss what happened to him, but Abyss was kind, even though it's the top 6, and didn't slaughter him, tended to his wounds. Will it come back to bite him, I wonder. Havoc and Nina huddle for warmth. I think we know what kind of warmth, you know. Seven Sissy tries to sing himself to sleep. Gotta just think of the name Seven Sissy. It's gotta be female, right? But my misogynism aside, Seven Sissy tries to sing himself to sleep. And the Sloth, after his beautiful display, receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Day 6. Nina explores the arena and tries to get out of it somehow, which we've learned does not end well. Hot damn, Seven Sissy prepping and plotting. Sets on an explosive, killing Havoc, the Sloth, and Sanders all in one go. It was beautiful. They set him up in the cornucopia and eventually coaxed them into the area with, food and such. And it was like, you never seen the the ooh piece of candy. What is that? What am I thinking of? Family Guy. They followed the trail right in there. Boom! Blood, viscera, and metal everywhere. And while all this explosion and badassery is happening, Abyss runs into the same spider that got depression and dies from an infection. That leaves 2 people left. But before we get there, 4 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Night 6. Nina accidentally steps on a landmine. The explosives were rampant this round, which means our winner is 7 Sissy from District 7. Congratulations. Holy shit. What a finale, ladies and gentlemen. The man deserved it. Brava, brava. Beautiful. Well, congratulations, our winner 7 Sissy from District 7. I probably should have said a little more there, but we're gonna. Congratulations, 7 Sissy. We'll leave it there.